Some people who choose not to post about their daily lives tend to have a strong inner orientation, meaning their sense of identity is shaped more by personal reflection than by external feedback. They often feel comfortable processing experiences privately, without the need to validate emotions or achievements through public reactions. This internal grounding can create emotional stability, as their self-worth is less dependent on likes, comments, or online approval. As a result, their relationship with themselves may feel quieter but also more consistent. For these individuals, privacy is not secrecy but a form of self-respect. They may believe that personal moments gain meaning when they are lived fully rather than documented. Sharing less allows them to stay present in experiences without the mental distraction of framing life for an audience. This mindset often reflects a deliberate boundary between the inner world and the public sphere. Many people who avoid daily life posting are highly selective about what they share, if they share at all. They may prefer depth over frequency, choosing to express themselves only when they feel something truly matters. This selectivity can come from a desire for authenticity, where expression is intentional rather than habitual. In this way, silence online does not equal absence of thought or emotion. There is often a strong sense of autonomy behind this behavior. These individuals may resist social pressure and trends, including the unspoken expectation to constantly update others. Their choices reflect a belief that they are allowed to exist without being observed. This autonomy can be empowering and psychologically protective. Another aspect of this inner orientation is emotional containment. People who do not post daily updates may prefer to feel emotions fully before talking about them, if they ever do. They may see immediate sharing as premature or emotionally exposing. This reflective processing can lead to deeper self-understanding. Such individuals are often comfortable with solitude, not as loneliness but as a space for clarity. They may enjoy observing life quietly and finding meaning without broadcasting it. Solitude allows them to recharge and stay connected to their own thoughts. This comfort reduces the impulse to seek constant interaction online. Their silence can also be a form of mindfulness. By not posting, they avoid comparing their lives to others or inviting comparison from others. This reduces anxiety and protects mental well-being. Their attention remains focused on lived experience rather than digital performance. People with this psychological profile may also value mystery, even in everyday life. They understand that not everything needs explanation or exposure. Keeping parts of life private can feel enriching rather than restrictive. Mystery becomes a personal asset. In many cases, their relationships are built more on direct communication than public interaction. They may prefer conversations over content, presence over posts. This can lead to deeper, more meaningful bonds. Their social energy is invested selectively. Ultimately, this inner-focused approach reflects a belief that life does not gain value by being seen. Meaning comes from experience, reflection, and personal growth. For these individuals, living quietly is not a lack of expression but a conscious psychological choice. People who do not post about their daily lives often have a critical awareness of social media culture. They may recognize how platforms encourage performance, comparison, and constant visibility. Instead of rejecting technology entirely, they choose a more intentional relationship with it. This distance allows them to engage without being consumed. They may see daily posting as a form of social obligation rather than genuine expression. By opting out, they reclaim control over how and when they participate. This choice can reduce stress and the feeling of being monitored. Social media becomes a tool, not a stage. Many of these individuals are sensitive to the emotional impact of online environments. They notice how constant exposure to others' curated lives can distort reality. Avoiding daily posts helps them resist the pressure to present an idealized version of themselves. This supports a healthier self-image. Their behavior can also reflect a resistance to oversharing culture. They may believe that intimacy loses meaning when everything is public. Personal moments are seen as valuable precisely because they are shared selectively. This belief shapes a more restrained digital presence. In social contexts, these individuals may still be active and expressive offline. Their lack of online visibility does not indicate social withdrawal. Instead, they often invest energy in face-to-face interactions. This preference reinforces a sense of real connection. They may also be aware of how quickly online narratives can be misunderstood. By not posting daily details, they avoid misinterpretation and judgment. Silence becomes a way to protect their story from being simplified. This caution reflects emotional intelligence. Societal expectations around visibility can feel intrusive to them. They question why existence seems to require documentation. By stepping back, they challenge the idea that relevance equals visibility. This stance can feel liberating. Some individuals associate constant posting with emotional noise. They prefer a calmer mental environment with fewer external inputs. Limiting their digital footprint helps preserve focus and clarity. Their attention is directed toward what they consider meaningful. They may also observe that social media rewards extremes rather than nuance. Everyday life, with its subtle emotions and complexities, does not always fit that format. Choosing not to post allows them to honor nuance without distortion. Life remains layered and private. In this way, their relationship with society is not disengaged but discerning. They participate on their own terms, valuing depth over exposure. Their quiet presence becomes a statement of psychological independence. Not posting about daily life often reflects a high level of emotional maturity. These individuals understand that emotions do not need immediate expression to be valid. They allow feelings to settle before deciding whether sharing is appropriate. This patience leads to greater emotional regulation. They tend to value personal growth over external recognition. Achievements feel meaningful even without applause. This internal reward system supports resilience and confidence. Their motivation comes from purpose rather than praise. Many of them hold strong values around authenticity. They do not want to present a version of life that feels edited or performative. If they cannot share honestly, they prefer not to share at all. Silence becomes more truthful than selective disclosure. This behavior can also indicate clear personal boundaries. They know where their private life ends and the public world begins. Maintaining this boundary protects emotional energy. It also reduces vulnerability to unwanted opinions. They often trust their own perceptions deeply. External validation is appreciated but not required. This trust allows them to make choices aligned with their values. Their self-concept remains stable across different environments. Such individuals may also have a strong sense of meaning that is not dependent on storytelling. Life is experienced as something to be lived, not narrated. This orientation encourages presence and engagement. Moments are valued for what they are, not how they appear. Their emotional expression may be channeled into other forms, such as art, writing, or deep conversation. These outlets feel more personal and controlled. Expression becomes intentional rather than automatic. This enhances emotional depth. They are often aware of the impermanence of attention online. Trends fade, posts disappear, reactions move on. By not investing heavily in daily sharing, they avoid emotional attachment to fleeting responses. This creates emotional stability. Their values may include simplicity and focus. Reducing online output frees mental space for reflection and creativity. Life feels less fragmented. Attention is treated as a precious resource. In the end, people who do not post about their daily lives are not silent by accident. Their choice reflects emotional awareness, clear values, and a deliberate way of engaging with the world. Their psychology is shaped by intention, not absence. For many people who do not post about their daily lives, silence is not emptiness but depth. They experience life as something layered and complex, not easily reduced to snapshots or short captions. Daily moments may feel too nuanced to translate into posts without losing their emotional texture. This awareness leads them to keep experiences intact rather than compressing them into consumable content. Control plays a significant psychological role in this choice. By not sharing routinely, these individuals maintain authority over their personal narrative. They decide when a moment is complete enough to be shared, if it ever is. This sense of control protects them from feeling exposed or fragmented by outside opinions. Silence can also function as emotional self-preservation. Sharing daily life invites constant feedback, interpretation, and sometimes intrusion. People who avoid posting may be especially aware of how easily external voices can influence internal states. Choosing not to post becomes a way to safeguard emotional balance. There is often a strong connection between silence and intentional living. These individuals tend to move through life with deliberateness rather than impulsivity. They may pause, reflect, and absorb before reacting. This rhythm contrasts sharply with the fast pace encouraged by social platforms. Not posting daily details can reflect a deep respect for personal time. Moments are allowed to exist without interruption or documentation. Attention remains fully with the experience itself. This uninterrupted presence can increase satisfaction and emotional richness. Many such individuals also understand that constant visibility can dilute meaning. When everything is shared, nothing feels special. By limiting exposure, they preserve the significance of certain experiences. Meaning is protected through selectivity. Silence can act as a psychological filter. It prevents emotional overload caused by constant interaction and comparison. Without the pressure to update others, mental space opens for clarity and focus. Thoughts settle more naturally. These individuals often value long-term fulfillment over short-term engagement. They are less interested in immediate reactions and more concerned with how experiences shape them over time. This future-oriented mindset reduces the urge for instant sharing. Life is processed inwardly before being externalized. There is also an element of self-trust involved. They trust that their experiences matter even if no one else witnesses them. Validation comes from internal alignment rather than social acknowledgement. This trust strengthens emotional independence. Silence may also reflect a philosophical stance on identity. Instead of constructing identity through public display, they experience it as something evolving internally. Who they are is not defined by what others see. Identity becomes fluid and personal. For some, not posting is a form of resistance against noise. Modern life is saturated with information, opinions, and images. Choosing silence is a way to step out of that current. It creates psychological breathing room. Their inner life often becomes richer as a result. Thoughts are explored more deeply when they are not immediately shared. Reflection replaces reaction. This depth supports self-awareness. In relationships, their silence can foster curiosity and genuine connection. Others must engage directly to know what is happening in their lives. Conversations become intentional rather than assumed. Presence replaces passive consumption. Over time, this way of living builds a strong sense of coherence. Life feels unified rather than split between living and posting. Experiences are integrated internally. This coherence supports emotional stability. Ultimately, the psychology behind not posting daily life is closely tied to meaning-making. Silence becomes a space where experiences mature. What is not shared immediately is not lost. It is transformed inwardly. For these individuals, silence is not absence but ownership.